From 2013 to 2019, the Swiss Research Institute of Organic Agriculture and their partners ISIPE, CALO, OACK and OCA conducted a comparative research on productivity, profitability and sustainability of organic and conventional farming systems. Since 2019, 2 follow-up projects, PMCA and Nutridecisions, have been initiated in Murang'a County. The Nutridecisions project has analyzed the dietary diversity and nutritional practices and decisions among organic and conventional women farmers in the county. We have the project coordinator for the Nutridecisions project. Welcome.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself and the role you have in the project.
My name is Dr. Muriuki. I work for the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization. I'm stationed in Nairobi at the Food Crops Research Center, Kabete, and I am the coordinator of the Nutridecisions project, which you're going to talk about today.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Muriuki. Food and security is part of the Big Four agenda in Vision 2030, and I'd like you to expound on the role of this project.
Food and nutrition security is part of any government's role, because the government should create policies to feed its people or to provide a conducive environment for the people who produce food, to produce enough food, good quality food in terms of it being safe and it being nutritious for its population. So the projects that we are talking about here are all related to food and nutrition security, which is part of the Big Four agenda of the Kenya government, and also the Vision 2030 vision. You are quite aware that as we speak today, we are still unable to feed ourselves. We have to still import a lot of food.
Why is that?
And the problem is because we are not able to produce enough. We have a lot of challenges with climate change. Our farmers are not fertilizing their fields well. Our production systems are not that vigorous or conducive, so we don't have enough food.
And how do the projects ProEco Africa and Syscom project come into play?
These 2 projects were brought to us by FIBO. And
what does FIBO stand for?
The Research Organization for Organic Farming in Switzerland.
Okay.
It's an institute for that, and the reason they were brought to us is because, of course, farming is as old as man himself. It has been done for many years. You realize that after the Second World War, after the First World War, there was a great need to produce a lot of food for the growing world population. And at about the same time, fertilizers were discovered and also pesticides. And because they produce such a huge crop, many farmers in Europe and in the US tended to go towards fertilizers and also the pesticides. But after 20-30 years of applying these pesticides and fertilizers, they realized that other things were happening that they didn't want. For example, sometimes the yield started going lower. Sometimes you started getting pests that were resistant to the diseases. It was also noticed that it was affecting human health. There were some byproducts or some contaminants in the food that could be traced to the products that were being applied. And so it became a very big concern in those 2 populations, because the medical profession was complaining we are having diseases and issues that are coming out of the food we are eating. So the FIBO started a study to compare organic and what they call conventional farming. Conventional farming is where you're using these chemical fertilizers and pesticides for production. Organic farming is where you're using natural methods to produce food without the chemicals. And so they got some very good results. And of course the question was, in the tropical environments where the disease cycles are more severe because of the higher temperatures, during the year, you realize here we can grow food or the year round.
By tropical, you mean Kenya is one of the
Kenya is one of them, yes. It's right in the equatorial belt, if you like. Yeah?
Okay.
So there were those questions. What would happen in the hotter climates? So that is how the two projects came to us, which was very good because we were already beginning to see those issues. Farmers were complaining that fertilizers are affecting our soils badly. They are also beginning to have a lot of issues with the pesticides, a lot of pest resistance and all that. So that is how the two projects came to us.
And how did it come back to the Nutridecision project? How does it all tie in?
Of course, we discovered with the two projects that there's room for organic farming. Of course, it's more difficult to do. It's more labor intensive. It takes longer.
Yeah.
You require a lot of certification to actually be said to be following the practices of organic farming. Conventional farming, on the other hand, is much easier because you buy the chemicals off the shelf and you can apply them immediately.
Okay, let me interrupt you. You say that it takes a lot of time to implement.
Yes.
Then how is that an advantage for someone who's just starting out? How does it benefit a farmer to do all these things that are difficult to do, and conventional farming is just something that is straightforward that they can just get?
That's a very good question. The farmers are not discouraged. If you have been sick because you have been eating chemicals, maybe you've gone to a doctor, you have bronchitis, or you are developing cancer or other issues, and then you are told that organic food is what will heal you. You are more than happy to do the hard work because you get in the end you get cleaner food that will clean up your system, and that is a motivation for many farmers, that you get cleaner food that is better for you. You get cleaner soils, you get cleaner water, that is and eventually a cleaner environment. Yeah.
How does ProEco Africa and Syscom tie into Nutridecision?
The ProEco Africa and Syscom projects found that actually our farmers are practicing organic and they like it. And so the next question was, are they just doing it for the market, or these farmers are eating the clean, the safer food which is organic in their own homes? So we wanted to interview farmers who are the main people who prepare meals in homes and find out whether they're actually eating the organic food themselves and what the motivation is.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
I'd just like to be very grateful to the partners that we have worked with in this project: OACK, OCA, ISIPE, CARO, of course, my boss is there, and of course, FIBO. And I hope the findings of this study can go to many other parts of the nation so that we all end up eating more nutritious, safer food so that we can be healthier and that we can give an easy time to our medical professions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Muriuki. It has been a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.